Hey everybody, this is going to be different than what I usually do. This is a Kensington trackball. It's a expert mouse trackball. One of my favorite methods of using a computer. I've had these for years. This one, which I've zoomed in too far, is not talking to the computer. This particular one was a friend of mine he gave it to me. He gave me two of them. I already fixed the other one and I'm using that, but this one needs some love. So what we need to do is tear it apart and check it for bad solder. I've already replaced the little rollers. The rollers they put in these, they're some kind of, they might be rubies, I'm not sure what the deal is, but they fall out and they don't sell them. It's so silly. You can't buy new little roller balls. So I found out they were 2mm, so I ordered a bunch of 2mm bearings and just popped them in. And they last a couple of years. They do flatten out, rolling on the ball, but whatever, I got a bag of them. So first things first, let's take out the two obvious screws. And let me get a container. There we go. And then we will have to get to the less obvious screws. Anybody who takes stuff apart knows, always look under. Now I'm going to try to take this apart without taking these off all the way. It's not going to reach. Okay. We'll get the rest of the Wias. Love Wia stuff. Anyway. Get that guy down in there. That one's loose. See, I find if I just peel these back a little, I can get in there enough to get the screw out. And then I can leave the screw in there. These I can't. Oh, that's it. No, these stay on. I don't think there's... Oh yeah, there are. There are screws under here. I'm gonna say, I remember there being 4 in the bottom, but it's been, I don't know, a year since I worked on one of these last. I recently upgraded to the new turbo mouse. It's a little flatter. It doesn't have a scroll wheel, a physical scroll wheel, but it does have something like this. Alright, so the screws are out. And then the top lifts off. Wow, enunciate, Frank. And this one's got some schmutz in it. Smells like chocolate. Probably eating a candy bar. And then you can see this thing's just full of dirt. What do we got here? Green seal. E-cigarette cover. Gross. Anyway. Wow. Yeah, it's a little crusty. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking it all apart. We're going to check all the connections and see what kind of cleaning it needs. There's our buttons. The scroll wheel uses a photo interrupter. It's pretty cool. Alright, so let's take the buttons out. I've found that it's easier to take these just totally apart if you want to clean them. Trying to clean them partially assembled, you just never get it right. And plus I got to get underneath the board to check solder near this guy anyway, because I do recall that it had a problem with scrolling, and what usually happens is bad solder or a broken pad on one of these. My other one I fixed by just bridging a little piece of wire. Alright, come on, lift out. There we are. One set of buttons. Another set of buttons. Buttons are out. Those screws are cleaned up. Let's get these out. Unplug the USB. One, two. believe this is just clipped in. Yeah, it's just clipped in. Lift and slide. There we go. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much like a normal mouse. That's just a normal mouse photo sensor. And there's the red LED that feeds it. Pretty sure I've even seen New Energy on mice before. Could be wrong, but boy, it rings a bell. And there's the other side, and that's dirty. I don't know if you can. Dirty. There we go. Get that loose. Alright. Focus. One more screw. And then switches. Come on, there we are. And this thing, I think that's a piece of metal for, is there a magnet? I can't remember. Maybe it's just to add weight. But it's clipped in to hold that wire down. So I don't know what else that would be. Oh, it is a magnet. Yep. It's a magnet. That's probably when you spin this, you kind of feel a little bit of resistance. That would make sense. Alright, so now all the boards are out. There's the bottom. And I'm going to go blow this out with the air compressor. I'll be right back. Alright, so I cleaned it all up. I just wiped it down with some rubbing alcohol to get all the crud off. The scroll wheel here still has a bunch of crud in these little things. God, I wonder if I should just take this home, just run it through the dishwasher. Well, I'll just pick it out, whatever. It's not that big a deal. So now I can start putting it back together so that we can test it. I just want to wipe these buttons down. So I know they're clean. There we go. That one's ready. And then this one. And then there's 3 screws per button, or per side of buttons. Then we have the 2 screws in the bottom and the 2 screws inside that bottom, and then the 4 screws on the physical bottom. I do wonder why they use 3 screws on the side. I mean, it seems kind of like overkill, but there must be some reason. Alright. Now, the only part I couldn't really get to was down in there. It's a little better. Still some crust in there, but that won't get in the way. Alright. Now you could put this in first and then set it down, but it's not too hard to get it in position. Oops. Let me clean that off. Much better. There we go. Sounds good, feels good. Wipe the top down a little. Inside there. Much better. Yep, feels good. Let's flip it over and we'll put these screws back in. Put that back in place. Right, back side, not front side. All right. There we go. That should work. Clean that shit off. There we go. All right. So anyway, that is how you take apart and clean a Kensington Expert mouse. Hopefully you learned something from this. Hopefully it was useful, and hopefully you'll like and or subscribe, or at least leave me a comment. Tell me what you want to see, what you like, what you don't like. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.